this particular business is I can't really build it much further than what it is. It gives me the lifestyle that I love, and that's an important thing in working for yourself and being an entrepreneur. Often people say, oh, I've got to get my work-life balance right. It's just not working for me at the moment. But when you're an entrepreneur or a business person, you don't have a work-life balance because your work is your life and your life is your work. And because you love your work, you live it. And because your business consumes you, it is your life. But because you're doing what you love, it's not a great. It's not like being an accountant stuck in a cubicle in Eagle Street. Any other lessons I can give you? Maybe a final lesson, and this is very far removed from what I was talking to my partner Pete in bed last night, like what's some of the lessons I've learned? And one of the things I think I have learned from this that's really improved my business, and that I notice or don't notice in other businesses, is answer your bloody phone. So many businesses I call, or freelance people, what do you call it when you let they screen their calls and then call you back later. I have always made it a point to, if my phone rings, I will run 100 metres to answer it, no matter who it is. And I think that's really improved my standing in where people see me, that I'm available and I'm ready. I know some people might think I'm not going to let my phone and my business run my life, but hey, you've chosen to be a business owner, and you have to have perseverance and resilience. You have to answer your phone, and if you miss that call, then call them back within 2 minutes. And I really think that's important for how people will see you. I think that's all, and hopefully some people have got some questions.
How did you build your database?
Yes, that question was, how did you build your database? What I did was, the problem with scouting is if you knock on doors, 9 out of 10 people will tell you to piss off. They're not interested, or they're a bit paranoid that you're going to rob them or whatever. So you really need to find those extroverts that say, yeah, come on in, film in my teenage daughter's bedroom. So, so what I did was a letterbox drop instead. So I'd go to some areas that I knew were very film friendly, or that had the type of locations that filmmakers like Ascot, Hamilton, Clayfield, Hawthorne, Bulimba. And I would find the best streets, the best houses. I wouldn't letterbox drop every house. And I would say, do you want to be on my database? Houses, if you have your house used for one day, it's about $1,000 or $1,500 for a day's filming. So I put that in there, and that's covered by public liability. And that way, the only people who responded to me were those extroverts and those people who are quite, yeah, use my house, you know, my kids will love it. So I've built this house, this database of 800 houses now, with all really gung-ho, extroverted people, which is great. That's a good question. What did I find that really didn't help in starting business? I think sometimes you can waste money on advertising or marketing too broadly if you haven't really thought out who your customer base is. So you really watch how you spend your money on those things. And often, like, I'm a good mate with Mike, and I hope he won't mind me saying this, or Jono, is sometimes having a coffee with friends who are like-minded, or having that acid bath experience with friends, is more valuable than spending money. Sorry, I hope there's no marketing or advertising people here on those campaigns when you're starting out.
How hard was it to swallow your pride when you went and asked your family and friends for money?
How hard was it to swallow my pride asking for money? It's really, really tricky, because they're not wealthy people either. So I just made a really rock solid guarantee with them that as soon as I made the smallest amount of profit, then I just started paying them back. But it was hard, but at the same time they were very supportive. Yeah.
who've been your greatest mentors and inspiration throughout?
Who's been my greatest mentors and support? I suppose, and again I'll give a plug for Edgeware here, and you guys should look up Edgeware. They're all about sort of ethical business, and also about that business should be fun and you should be passionate about your business, and also that you should give back to the business community as well as the making money. So I think Michael Doneman, who heads Edgeware, has been a great mentor. And also through this process of running the business, I've got really interested in young entrepreneurs and helped Michael run some young entrepreneur camps. So actually young people like Jono and Mike and others that might be here, and Simon, young people often really inspire me, and they give me a bit of a kick up the arse, because I'm Gen X, and you know, these Gen Y dudes really make me change my thinking. But I love that feeling of, oh shit, I really need to think about that, you know. And so young people are often great inspiration.
Nat, I've got one. You talked about how difficult it is to scale your business, but tell us about how you leverage your networks online and offline in order to find locations if you don't have it in your database, because I've seen a few questions come up with a picture of something that you're looking for.
Yeah, crowdsourcing through social networking is really handy, and I guess any of you can use that too. So often if I am looking for something that I don't have on my database, which is quite often, I'll hop on Twitter, and I've built up quite a big Twitter following, and I encourage people to retweet. But I'll say, hey, I need a white warehouse, and it's got to have a white floor and a white roof and white poles, and here's a picture of it. Does anyone know? And then it gets retweeted out, and it's amazing what responses I can get from that, and from Facebook too. And also radio and TV are very interested in film locations, because they're a bit starry-eyed because it's film locations. So often I'll ring up good old Spencer Housen on ABC Radio, and he'll have me on, and then I get all the old ducks with their wallpapered lounge rooms and things like that. So any way that you can get the word out there of how to find something is great.
I was just going to ask, what's next?
Yeah, what's next? I've got very itchy feet now, because as I said, I always told myself once I'd made a car commercial, I knew I'd made it. So I've just made 2 car commercials. And I've closed down Albert Street over Easter and shot a Mazda ad, and I've just shot a Holden ad. So I feel now like, oh, it's time to move on now. I've done that. I have started this website, I won't call it a business at the moment, a website called precinct.com, which is about hanging out in different precincts like Boundary Street and West End, and what would be cool to see there. But it's very much a photographic blog, so I'd love it if Mike would post that link on maybe on Hive, because I'd love some free market research for you guys to hop on that